Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of my Roguelike project. Last time I left you off talking about what I planned to do, and it was to spawn items and monsters in the randomly generated dungeon. So I've actually gone, and it's about, I'd say I've been working for probably about an hour, maybe slightly over an hour. And as you can see here, there's now crates being spawned in the dungeon, and we can push them out of the way. They can't be destroyed yet. And if we go back in, then the crates should be in the same position as they started in last time. So we can see some progress anyway. Now there's items being spawned in the dungeon. So I'll just briefly go over the code that I've been doing for the last hour or so. It's slightly changed than the normal kind of videos, because up till now, kind of every minute that I've been coding, bar maybe 15, I'd say maybe about 15 minutes I've missed, has been documented, but it's probably taken an hour out there just to get the basics done in this code, because I wasn't quite sure how to do it. So I didn't think you'd be interested in me just trying things that didn't work, and some things didn't work. That's why it took me about an hour. So about half an hour actual coding and about half an hour trying to get it to work. So the stairs to dungeon behavior creates the randomly generated dungeon rooms. It's exactly the same as I left it in the last episode, except for down the bottom we have trigger event do it in S2D2, and S2D2 stands for stairs to dungeon 2. What this does then is sets this attribute called active DR list, so active dungeon reader list, to dungeon list 1, and then it repeats it 5 times, because there should be at maximum 5 items in dungeon list 1, which is either going to be 1s or 0s to tell us whether there's a room there or not. And then it says if the item in the active dungeon list is equal to 1, that means there's a room. So we want it to spawn, we're saying at the minute, 4 times in this list we've called active room. Run through, add a number between 1 and 12, and we have 12 different types of, what have we called it? We have 12 different types of barrels. Forgot that we called them barrels, even though they're not barrels, but barrels. So we have 12 different types of barrels. So we can see here that comment that's type, that's why 12. So there's 12 types, so it's between 1 and 12. So that'll tell us which type of barrel to spawn, and then tell us at what X to spawn at, and tell us at what Y to spawn at. So it's been put in a list, and I'll run through this 4 times at the minute, so it will create 4 barrels. But we haven't got it at the minute reading which type of barrel it is. And I think we also need another flag, which I'm going to put in now to give it like an actual number, so that if the barrel is killed, then we know which specific barrel to kill. So I'll do that now actually before I move on. So flow debug print item number, we'll call it, and we'll take this out, copy, undo, paste, and we'll add it in here. And it's not add number, it's add as number, current loop number. So that'll give us the item number, so it means if we kill a specific barrel, then we hopefully know what number to kill. So it'll not spawn again, and it'll be the same with the enemies. So if you kill one enemy but leave others alive, then it should keep the ones that are alive but not spawn the new ones. Hopefully that's the idea. So we've got it doing that, looping through 4 times to create 4 items at different this part here is X, this part here is Y, and then we're going to do the same for monsters, though we haven't implemented that yet in the code. And then it's saying if current loop number is equal to 0, then we know that the room number should be 1 because it's in dungeon list 1, and then the 5 rooms in dungeon list 1 are room 1, room 2, room 3, room 4, room 5. So depending on what loop counter it is in this loop here, we know which room it should be, and then clear the active room. So it's just looping through it, and then these purple ones here are the game attributes, and these are the ones that are going to store the items and monsters in a list. So we know that when we go to item dungeon spawner, we tell it, we ask what is the player position. So this is a new scene behavior that you haven't seen before, and then get item 0 from dungeon player position as number, and if it's equal to 0, then we know we're in row 1, and if we're in row 1, that is basically dungeon list 1, I think. No, it's not. Or is it? I had trouble with this yesterday. So if we're in row 1, no, so yeah, that's not quite right. Row, so it means we're on row 1, so it's the top of the dungeon. So against the very top of the dungeon would be row 1. So it goes, room 1 is the first room, and then room 2 is to the right of the first room, and room 3 is to the right of room 2. So this is telling us which room to go to, and then we set the active room list to what game attribute we are in, or what game attribute which room we're in according to the dungeon player position, and then repeat. And this is going to have to be 4 now, rather than 3, because there's 4 items. There's 4 numbers per item. So there's the item number, what type it is, the X and Y, and we need to divide that by 4 and set that to times 4 now, because there's 4 numbers per item. And if item number counter, it might have to be counter plus 1. It is counter plus 1 now. We'll use as number. So if get item counters plus 1 from active room is less than 12, then we know to create a barrel. And that allows us to then have different numbers for different types of barrels and enemies. So it means we can then figure out what specifically we want spawned randomly. So it gives allows from a random number to give us an enemy. So what we kind of want now to do is to what? Should have thought about this more. Well, we want the different barrels to look different according to what they are, what number they've been given. So we want to do for last actor, we'll need to create a barrel behavior. So actor behaviors, I don't think we have a barrel behavior yet, so we'll call it barrel behavior. I do not want to remove wonder. Nope. So on event basics, when created, and this is something I want to track, updated. Repeat does not repeat. So you want to do it does not repeat, and how do you do that? How do you make it always one does not repeat? Let me make it not always repeat. Not sure. Because we want to then, well, start it anyway. We'll create an attribute and we'll call it animation type. And that'll be a number. That'll be hidden. And set or set animation type. Now can we set it to not repeat? So how do we, why does that not change? Remove, we don't want to remove it. Add a font, basics. When drawing, when updating. That's so annoying because I'm sure it's pretty obvious, it's just being silly. Anyway, I give up. So we need to from the item dungeon spawner we should trigger our attributes, and then for last created actor set to last created actor shall be the last barrel, and then we'll set, oops, that's so annoying, set, and it's whatever was barrel be here. Why can't we see that? So come on. Oh, so frustrating sometimes. Stencil set attribute names and its barrel behavior and its animation type. Set it to and it's this one here and as a number. So paste that in. For last create, I set animation type to get item as number. I may also want to, do we want to set? Yeah, because then we could kill it. Well, no, we don't want to, because we know what number it is. Okay, just being silly. And then we want to, according to which barrel behavior, in barrel behavior we want to set up according to which animation type it is, how it looks like. So we go if, otherwise if, otherwise if. I'm going to do this 12 times, unfortunately, because there's 12 types of barrels. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we'll do the last one as an otherwise, just in case. Ah, come on, stop messing me about. Why are you not linking all up? Come on. So this is just going to be a big list of all the animation types, and then I'll be switching to which one it wants to look like depending on what number has been assigned. So we need then equal, and we need animation type, and we need 1 I need to copy that all the way. You copy that 12 times. So it's a bit tedious, but hopefully by having 12 different types of barrels and crates, I think we'll have each type do something slightly different. Then I'll add a bit of variation and variety to the dungeons, because it'll mean that each room doesn't look the same. And that's what something I might really kind of want to achieve, because it's just the same room and it's the same scene being spawned, but by changing it up with maybe, I might have spikes and pits and these crates and different monsters, then I'd hopefully get past the notion that it actually is the same room that you're just going into, but with this different stuff. And I think it might be a difficult thing to achieve, but the game like Binding of Isaac does it quite well, because it's got so many varieties of, like, there's the rocks on the side, the different enemies, and then there's pits you can fall into, and then there's spikes, and then there's the boss battles as well. So I don't think I'll be able to get to the level of variety as Binding of Isaac, but even coming like halfway, it's just try and fool people into thinking it's a different room. That's just something I want to try and do. So we need to go into draw and then switch animation to, and then we'll call it A1, and we need to do copy that in to all the otherwise if loops, and call it A2, A3, A4, A5. Oops. And then once we add these in, then we just need to make sure, I don't think the animations are called these at the minute, but we'll just change the animation names to A1 to A12, and then we should be able to give it a test, and then we should be able to see the barrels looking different rather than it was just the same barrel over and over again. And then I want to look into killing the barrel and then removing it from the list, and then once that's done, I can go on to creating it for all the other rooms, because I think I've only done, as you've seen there, the first 5 rooms is the code created for, so not the rest of the dungeon. So by doing it for just the 5 rooms, I can check that the code can do everything I want it to do before I jump in too deep. So we just need to go to barrels and quickly change all these names to A0, A1, A2, no, it needs to be A1, Egypt, A2, so as I was saying at the start of the video, this one was a bit different because that, oh, what's changed here? A1, A2, A3, A4. So A1, this one should be A2. This should be right, hold on. This is so annoying. So you should be A1, A2, A3, A5. You be A6, A7. You be A2, A1, A2, A3, A4. Then we have A5, and then we need A6. We have A7. We need A8. Sorry about that. That was a bit of confusion. So yeah, I missed out about an hour's worth of video because I thought you wouldn't want to see it. So I think I might do that from now on. Try and selectively choose what I show, because I don't want to bore you with needless bug squashing and just going through the code when I'm not sure what I'm doing, because I'm not sure it doesn't make as an interesting video. So here is the big test. After 20 minutes of work, are we going to get the barrels to look different? I am not sure that we are, but hopefully we are. So test scene, fingers crossed everybody. So yeah, I think I'm just going to selectively choose what I show a bit more rather than just document the whole process. I think it was a nice idea to document the whole process, but I just don't think it's interesting overall. So we didn't actually have any barrels there, so we might have completely broke the code. Hopefully we did not completely break the code. Come on, please work. Yeah, we've managed to break the code. And why is that? So it should be an S2D2. No, it should be an item star. For last created actor, set animation type to as number for behavior, barrel behavior. Attributes. So I want to give it one more. Well, it's not working, so I will go investigate why and report back with why I've broken my code. But as always, thanks for watching. Making a bit of progress now with the items in the dungeon, so get these different appearances in, get them that we can kill it and remove from the list, and then on to adding monsters. We will almost have a playable random dungeon. So thanks for listening. If you have any suggestions for the game, please leave them in the comments. Until next time, see ya.